Hi, I'm Parneet Jaggi, and this is going to be a series of lectures on the famous play by John Osborne, Look Back in Anger. Let's know a little bit about John James Osborne. Osborne was an English playwright, a screenwriter, and himself an actor known for his intense critical stance towards established social and political norms. The success of his 1956 published play, Look Back in Anger, transformed the entire English theatre. And in a productive life of more than 40 years, Osborne explored many themes and genres, writing for stage, film, and TV. Now, what is Look Back in Anger? Look Back in Anger is considered one of the most important plays in the modern British theatre. It was the first well-known example of kitchen sink drama, a style of theatre that explored the emotion and drama beneath the surface of ordinary domestic life. And the main character of this play, Jimmy Porter, became the model for the angry young man. So this Angry Young Man was a nickname given to the entire generation of artists and the working class men, young men in the post-World War II British society. Osborne wrote the play in only just a few weeks' time in the May of 1955, and this play ironically was first rejected by many agents and theatre companies that Osborne had approached about producing it. So then finally George Devine, the creative producer of the struggling Royal Court Theatre, decided to gamble on this play and staged its first production. This play opened in 1956 in May, and initially it received mixed reviews from English theatre critics, but it won a rave review from The Times. Now, the two iconic motives in this play are the concepts of the angry young man and the kitchen sink drama. So before we begin with the overview or detailed analysis of the play, let's look at what characters adorn this play and what kind of characterization we have in this play. So the protagonist, the hero of the play, is named Jimmy Porter. He's the main character. He is that angry young man who expresses throughout the play his frustration for the lack of feelings in his placid domestic life. He is happily married, he has had a love marriage, but his discontentment leads to the intensity and the series of events in the play. So Jimmy can be understood as both a hero for the unfiltered expressions of emotion and frustration in a culture that propagated unemotional resignation. He can also be considered a villain for the ways in which his anger proves to be destructive to those in his life, especially when we talk of his relationship with his wife, Alison. Now, he lives with a friend whose name is Cliff Lewis. Cliff is a friend to both Jimmy and his wife, Alison, and he lives with them in their attic apartment. He is a working class Welshman, and Jimmy makes sure to often point out that he is common. He's very ordinary and he's uneducated. Cliff believes this is the reason that Jimmy keeps him as a friend. He's quite fond of Alison, Jimmy's wife, and they have a strange, affectionate relationship throughout the play. Then we have the wife, Jimmy's wife, Alison Porter. She comes from Britain's upper class family, but she is married into Jimmy's working class lifestyle. She is happy. The audience learns in the first act that she is pregnant with Jimmy's child, but Jimmy's destructive anger causes her great pain, strain, and she has to eventually leave him for some time. She undergoes a miscarriage, and then she comes back to Jimmy to show him that she has undergone great suffering, but then she patches up with him. Then we have the fourth character, Helena Charles, who is a good friend of Alison. She lives with them. She comes to live with them in their apartment for some time while she visits for her work. She is from an upper class family, But here in this play, her role is that she's responsible for the separation of Alison and Jimmy, because she instigates Alison to leave Jimmy and the house. And then after Alison leaves, she has an affair with Jimmy. But later when Alison comes back, her sense of morality leads her to leave the house and the family on their own. Now she can be considered as the play's moral compass according to some critics. Then we have an important character. He may not be physically or actively present in the play, but he is always there in the background, was Colonel Redfern. He is Alison's father, and he represents Britain's great Edwardian past. Why? Because he was a military leader in India for many years before he returned with his family to England. Now he is very critical of Jimmy and Alison's relationship, because they fell in love and they went into this bond of a love marriage. But then Colonel later accepts that he is to blame for many of their problems because of his meddling in their affairs. Now these were the main characters that I have talked about, but besides these, we also have the other characters like Alison's mother, brother, and the characters appearing now and then. But these chief characters lead to a conflict in the drama. And these are the chief characters which are representative of the anger, the suffocation, the frustration, the discontentment that could be seen in the post-World War II ordinary person's life. So this was an introduction to the play Look Back in Anger by Osborne. We'll continue with this lecture in the next lecture of the series. Thank you for now.